What's going on, guys? It's your boy Kev here, back with another video. We get some more NBA prize picks. Don't worry, I was just looking at NHL, looking at some of the names there, but it is NBA prize picks. Super excited to get into this. Guys, if you're new to the channel or new to prize picks, so prize picks is essentially a daily fantasy sports platform where instead of picking players, you actually pick the overs and unders on the point projections of players. So if you're looking over here at Jason Tatum at 46, I can take the over or under depending on how I think he'll do, and I can pair that 2, 3, 4, or 5 times between that many players. So I can, take the over on Tatum, under on Zion, do that as many times as I want through as many players. One of my favorite aspects is that you can do this between multiple sports too. So I can do NBA, switch over to NHL, take Taylor Hall for under or over at 3, and just mix and match, which is wicked cool to me. Love to doing that with like MMA and NBA, NFL, whatever you want to do. So it's really cool they offer that. Guys, if you do sign up for prize picks, please use code DGF. Really helps us out a lot, really supports the channel. We notice every time you guys do, and I think they're still running this promo where they will match 100% of your first deposit up to $100. So you can get essentially $100 for free if you max out that deposit. So pretty cool. So definitely do that if you do. Give yourself some free money there. Super excited to get into these, so let's get right to it. We got my boy Jokic off the rip, someone I have in fantasy. I have a lot of guys I have in fantasy on this slate. Actually, I see like 3 or 4 guys, so it's going to be interesting. Try to leave the bias out of this, but I'm going to take the slight over here for my boy Jokic. Of his last 12 games, he has cleared 8 times, so 2/3 of the time he's clearing over 50 points. Been a little more consistent as of late too, so he's cleared it. I think I want to say like 4 of his last 5 or something like that, or 3 or 4 in a row. He's been pretty hot. So, like I said, been a little more consistent. And, there's so many injuries on that team. Not that he doesn't get the lion's share anyway, but helps a little bit. So I will be taking the slight over against the Celtics. Moving over on to a Celtics player, one of my homeboys in Boston. I'm a New England guy, lived in Mass my whole life. That being said, I'm going to avoid Tatum as I usually do. I usually avoid him and Jaylen Brown. Even for my hometown boy, because to be honest, they're just, I faded him last week. I told you that. He's too inconsistent, though. Gun to my head, I would actually probably take the under. He has been under 4 of his last 5, but I'm not quite there yet, to be honest, against a middle-of-the-road Denver defense, so I'm just going to avoid that situation for now. Moving on to another guy I have on my fantasy roster, Zion. Absolutely love Zion. Reached up for him a little bit this year. Been super consistent. I said this last time he was on here. Might be the most consistent player in the NBA right now. He is just, what to expect from him, and I love that. Unfortunately, for a bit there, it was kind of too close to that line, but it's reached a point where I think you can actually take the slight over here. I mean, he's cleared 39 in 9 of his last 12 games, and being so consistent, when he missed in 3 of those 12, like I talked about, it was within 3 points, so he's always there, and for that, I mean, that's got to be worth something. So it's and I like the matchup, a little less than I'd say I'd want to against Memphis. That's the one thing that's making me this like a slight lean, or I would take this all day. But I think you can still take the over here. I really do. So let's go over on Zion. Moving on to Ja. We got Ja at someone who's just I think just the up in usage and the talent of, Kyle Anderson, players like, Jones, and players who have been playing a little bit better since Ja was out with his injury have caused him to kind of slip back down since his return. I don't know if the injury's still nagging him, but, he put up an 80-something point game early in the year, and we just haven't seen that from him. He's actually been under this 36-point projection 8 of his last 9 games. So that being said, I think I'm just going to keep that train rolling. I mean, 8 out of 9 is crazy consistent for prize picks. And like I say, guys, I like to make this clear. When I talk about consistency, I'm not talking about how good they are consistently, how, in real life or whatever. I'm talking about consistently under a projection or over a projection. So consistency could mean, they're playing really good or playing really bad, but at least they're doing it consistently, if that makes sense. So Ja, for example, is consistently playing bad in terms of he's always under that. So I do like the under for Ja, and I will be taking it. Moving on, another guy, got to keep my bias out of on this, but I do love him and I do roster him, so I got to stay clear of my bias here. But Pascal, I have him on my roster. He's been pretty good, pretty consistent, as I've told you guys. He's playing the 30th ranked defense against the position, and he hits over about 66% of the time. I think it's a slight lean, not my favorite one. There are a lot of slight leans on here. To be honest, my favorite one is probably Ja that we've talked about so far. But I think you can take the over here. He's consistently hitting over and is a super favorable matchup. And he's been a little bit hotter, as of late. So I will be taking the slight over here. Someone I usually, don't touch too much just because he's at usually such a crazy high projection, but I will be taking another over on Giannis. So, I mean, he's cleared it 8 of his last 11 at 54 points, which is crazy. He's just so freaking talented. He's playing a bottom 5 defense against power forwards. So, no injuries recent enough to talk about here that it's like, affecting him. It's, again, he's someone like Jokic. Injuries don't really matter. He's going to get lion's share either way. So, pretty cut and dry. He's been, on a hot streak, and he's amazing. And yeah, he's hitting over more times than not. So definitely like that. Over 70% clip on the over there for his percentage. Moving on, we have LeBron. LeBron at 52. Sharp money might say to take the under, gun to my head. I mean, or gun to your head if you want to talk that way. Minnesota is allowing the second least amount of points to opposing small forwards. And when I say, points, I'm talking about PrizePicks points. LeBron has been under more times than not, but I will probably avoid that just, as I think we want to probably just see a little more consistently him being under 52, even though I think, to be honest, I really do think he probably hits the under, but we have so many other good picks on this already. I don't think you need to be, picky and choosing. I know sometimes we're fighting to find some good picks. There's just a lot of ones that are close to that line, and PrizePicks crushes the projection. So, but we have a lot of good options. So if you want to take the under, I don't hate you for it, but I'm probably going to avoid. And then lastly, we have KAT at 46, who I will be avoiding. Still such a small sample size for him this year. We don't know how much the injuries, nagging him. He's played back a couple times with it, but he's been so banged up all year. Why take the risk when you don't have to, especially on a slate this, with this many good options on it. So I'm going to avoid him. So that's the video, guys. Quick little rundown, recap. KAT, I'm going to avoid. LeBron, I'm going to avoid. Giannis, I will take the over. Pascal, I'll take the over. Ja, I will take the under. That's probably my favorite pick of the slate just for consistency purposes. Zion, I'll take the over. Tatum, I will avoid. And Jokic, I'll take the over. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. We got some more videos coming up this week. We TJ and Matt, I say it every single time, but they absolutely crush the live streams every single night for NBA. We're coming off a pretty hot night of MMA, so I can't wait to get back into that. I actually had a pretty big night there. Came in second in a contest, hit pretty well, so we'll talk about that more in the MMA video. But if you did enjoy the video, guys, please like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. And as always, guys, let's cash.